presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. As we celebrate the 4th of July weekend, nothing goes better together than hot dogs, apple pie, and Tigers baseball. And today we come to you from St. Petersburg, Florida. It's the final game of this 4-game series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Tampa Bay Rays. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pep alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us. Tigers going for the sweep today. They are on a roll, Rod, and really doing what they need to do against a team that is struggling.
You know, when you run off 5 games in a row, which is what the Tigers have done, you're going to get some consistent pitching, which means your starters are going to do their job. The bullpen's able to do its job. You've got some timely hitting, and you've got some guys just doing their job up and down the lineup. But I like, in fact, too, Mario, they're winning close games. They won a 3-2 game yesterday.
Yeah, and one guy that is doing it all right now is Jose Iglesias. He's been on a roll. It's good to see him work both offensively and defensively.
Iglesias got off to a really good start in the month of April. He stubbed his toe in May, but he picked it up again in the month of June. His batting average was hovering right around 200 when June began. He hit over 300 in the month of June. He's up to 260 now. He's hitting with extra base power. He can really handle the bat. Iglesias can do a number of things. That's just on the offensive end of things. Now when you flip the script defensively, no one at the shortstop position has been better than Jose this year. He's only made 3 errors. We know he can make the really outstanding, flashy plays, but he's been awfully consistent on the routine plays. Every now and then he'll show you that no-look pass that he did there to Ian Kinsler, but this guy just covers so much ground at the shortstop position, and he really takes a lot of pressure off of Castellanos at the third base position. Castellanos can play closer to the line, and that has improved the range of Castellanos as well.
All right, now Chris Archer is on the mound today for the Rays. I am still trying to figure out how this guy has lost 11 games this year, but he's been in a stretch dating back to last year that's not been very good.
You know, going back 33 starts, that's back to the All-Star game of 2015. This guy was one of the best right-handed pitchers in all of baseball. But since then, he has lost 19 games. His ERA is approaching 5. They say he lacks confidence, obviously, but his fastball command hasn't been there either. The slider hasn't been as sharp as it was last year as well, but he still has 117 punch-outs. This guy still has presence. This guy still has good stuff. This guy will be out there on a mission today to pitch well, to shut down the Tigers team, which has pretty much owned his squad all season long. So the Tigers are going to have to grind out some at-bats today against Archer.
Yeah, this guy trying to keep the Tigers from sweeping his team today. Stay with us. Game 4 in the series coming up. After a short break, we send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Check in with John Keating, but we've got our brooms out this afternoon. Tigers trying to sweep a 4-game set here in St. Pete. Stay with us. Tigers Rays coming up next. The Tigers wrapping up this series and the first leg of their long road trip, trying for the sweep. Here is the Tigers lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Ian Kinsler hit his 199th career home run in the ballgame yesterday. He'll lead off at second base. Then Iglesias and Cabrera, no Maben today. Victor Martinez DHing, Castellanos at third. It is Upton. Left in your bottom three is Moya, McCann, and Romine. They are facing the right-handed offerings of Mr. Chris Archer.
And Chris Archer struggling this year. He's made 17 starts. He has 11 losses. The 11 losses are the most in the major leagues. The earned run average is approaching 5, but he still has electric stuff. The fastball can get up to 98 miles an hour. He averages 93. He's got a good slider and a changeup. They're trying to encourage him into using a little bit more here today. Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left or right in the outfield. They've got Franklin, they've got Geyer, they've got Souza Jr., Miller, Forsythe up the middle, Longoria. Man, this guy can play some defense down at third base. He's made a lot of real nice plays down there. Morrison at first, and Casali catching the second game of the 4-game series. Second game he's caught, I should say.
So here we go. It'll be Ian Kinsler for the Tigers, who come in at 5 over the 500 mark. They're 43-38. And Chris Archer is set to go to work. It'll be Kinsler, Iglesias, and then Cabrera facing the right-handed Archer. Here's the first pitch of today's ball game. It's down the middle, of strike 0-1.
Something that Archer has had a very difficult time of doing this year, and that's getting out of the first inning without giving up a run. His earned run average is 10 in the very first inning of his starts this year.
The 0-1 sails inside at 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike. Archer is 27 years old, out of Clayton, North Carolina. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Kinsler.
Probably the biggest difference in Archer right here, Mario, his slider. We're not used to him hanging sliders in the strike zone. The one he threw to Ian was very hittable. He did not get it to the bottom of the strike zone. We'll get a look at him here in a minute. That's a better slider by him, Archer. Here's the previous pitch, though, and this is why he's been giving up so many hits.
2-2 the count on Kinsler. And he lays off the high fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kinsler 2 out of 12 in the series. You've got Iglesias waiting on deck. Cam Maben gets the day off today. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And he missed with the slider outside. Leadoff walk for Kinsler. Not the way Archer wanted to start this one. A base on balls.
I was talking to a couple of the Tigers hitters in the clubhouse today about Archer and what they saw in the start that he made against them earlier this year. And they said, one, he just didn't look like the same guy that they had seen in the previous years in the slider. They say that was the biggest difference. The slider just did not have that bite that it had the beginning of last year, where he made an all-star team and he was in the running to start the all-star game.
Well, his walks have been up this year, and he started this game with a walk. Iglesias spins away from ball 1 inside.
And Iglesias batting in that number 2 spot here today. As you mentioned, Maben not playing, at least at the beginning of this contest. I really like him in that 9 slot, though. He has really excelled there.
Iglesias waits on a 1-0 pitch. Now Archer will step off. What Iglesias does for you in that 9 spot is give you basically a couple of leadoff hitters.
Exactly.
He had an RBI single in the ball game yesterday, and Iglesias batting at .257 now, so the average started to come up in the month of June. Here's the 1-0. That's down the middle of strike. The one thing about Archer is his walks have been up this year. He's walking nearly 4 per 9, actually a little over 4 per 9. So that has been to his detriment. Cabrera back in the lineup today, waiting on deck.
I think that kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that he has been getting hit around a lot. He's a little reluctant in throwing the ball over the plate.
Kinsler has stolen 8 this year. He's been caught 3 times. Tigers using a lot of offense to win the first 2 games in the series. Yesterday, they won a tight one, 3-2. Inside and high, and back goes Iglesias sprawling out of the way. 2-1.
We were told that Archer would throw a few more fastballs inside here today, which is something that he really hasn't done in quite a while. Mario, he has not hit a batter in 33 straight starts. I mean, you got to go back to July 3rd, a year ago, the last time he hit a batter, which tells everybody that he just will not pitch inside.
The 2-1. 3-1 now on Iglesias. Well, even though he's struggling this year, he remains part of trade talks. A lot of folks talking about some of these Rays pitchers perhaps being available at the trading deadline, and this is one electric arm despite the numbers that I'm sure a lot of teams would be interested in.
Man, it'd be tough to trade him. He has such a friendly contract for the Rays.
Yeah, good point. Iglesias drops down a bunt. It's going to go foul, though. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kinsler on the move. Will have to go back.
When you bunt down toward third base with Evan Longoria playing down there, you better make a pretty good bunt because he's outstanding fielder at that position.
Make it so.
Wisely let that one roll foul.
Yeah, more than likely Ian Kinsler will be on the move here. 3-2 count for the most part. Jose Iglesias is one of the toughest to strike out in the American League.
The 3rd toughest, as a matter of fact. Runner goes on 3-2. Bouncing ball. It's going to get through a base hit right side of the infield. Kinsler is on his way to 3rd. He'll stop there, and the Tigers are off and running this afternoon.
That is an absolute thing of beauty. And if you're Archer right now, you're saying to yourself, no, not again, because we've told you the fact that he gives up lots of runs. Runner on the move, which means Forsythe, he's going over to second base, which opens up the hole here for Iglesias. Good contact hitter. Not a bad pitch by Archer. Pounded right into the ground, right through the vacated hole.
Archer put that ball in a spot where you really can't do a whole lot with it, but that right side of the infield was wide open, and Iglesias, with the excellent hand-eye, just poked it to right field. And now the Tigers have runners at 1st and 3rd for their number 3 hitter, Miguel Cabrera.
And he has decent numbers against Archer. And 4 of 10. He's one of the few guys that actually have good numbers against Archer.
First one dives low and away, 1-0. Cabrera got the day off yesterday in part because he has good numbers against Archer, as Brad wanted him back in the lineup today.
He enjoyed that day off too, didn't he?
Looked like he was just kind of chilling on the bench, having fun with his teammates.
For sure.
Now the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cabrera.
Uncomfortable looking swing there taken by Miguel. You don't usually see Miguel take uncomfortable swings, but that was a slider at 90 miles an hour and located in a real nice spot.
Miggy takes high on a fastball at 96. So Archer already has thrown 15 pitches. He has not retired anybody. And Victor Martinez waiting on deck. And that 10 ERA in the first inning has to be in the back of his mind right now as the Tigers threaten. Low and away, 3-1.
And when you have numbers like this in the very first inning, Mario, 19 runs that he's given up in 17 starts. If you don't have a good offense, you're not going to win a lot of games. They're just not going to be able to come back for you. And this is one of the poorest offenses in the American League.
It is. It's been a terrible offense. 3 balls and 1 strike. And that one's in there in the outside corner. 3-2.
That's what he'll do about 55% of the time. When he is behind in the count to a right-handed batter, Chris Archer has a lot of confidence in his slider.
Well, the Tigers, the first time they faced Archer this year, back at Comerica Park in May, they put up 8 hits and 6 runs against him in just 3 innings.
Shortest outing of the year so far for Chris. Iglesias will be on the move here, 3-2.
And it's a ball low. It's going to be ball 4, so that'll be a walk for Cabrera, and that's going to load the bases with nobody out.
Man, if you're the Tampa Bay Rays, man, you got to be wondering what in the world has happened to Chris Archer.
Here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. It is 70 degrees inside. It is hot and humid outside, but that makes no difference. 86 degrees. Heat index says that it's better than 100 degrees out there.
Toasty out there today,
but comfy in here. Here is Martinez, who is batting .323. 4 for 13, couple of homers, 7 runs driven in the series, and he's got a chance to drive in a few more here. Infield right now begging for a double play ball. And it's in there for a strike. 0-1.
Archer does have a changeup, but he doesn't use the changeup that often. Very seldom will he throw the changeup to the right-handed hitter, but he uses it a little bit more frequently to the left-handers. He hasn't thrown a changeup yet today.
Lifted back out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Victor now has hit safely in 6 in a row. He's gotten off to a good start on this road trip.
He loves hitting on the road, and he loves hitting in this ballpark. Victor has posted some of his better career numbers right here at Tropicana Field.
Archer has him down 0-2. Swing and a miss. He dusted him at 97 up top. 1 gone.
It's a big out for Archer, to say the least. First pitch at 94, then he came back with a slider, and then he went up top and with a mid-90s fastball to get Victor out.
First out of the inning, and that'll bring up Castellanos.
If you're Castellanos, you know you're not going to get a first pitch fastball here. You're going to get a slider, so make sure if you're swinging at it, you can make sure the slider's up in the strike zone. You don't want to do Archer any favors.
3 for 11 in the series for Nick. It'll bounce in. 1 ball, no strikes. Couple of grand slams for Castellanos in his career. 375 with the bases loaded. And this year 2 for 3. Tigers got it rolling with a leadoff walk to Kinsler, a single by Iglesias, and a walk to Cabrera. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick batting an even .300 on the season with 14 homers, 43 RBIs. Numbers that are certainly all-star worthy, but a stacked position at third base. We'll see how it shakes out, which Tigers make the all-star team. They've got several candidates. Here's the 1-1. 1-2. So Archer trying to work his way out of this jam.
Good slider here.
He has gotten 74 strikeouts on his slider this year, which is the most in the big leagues on that pitch.
He's already thrown it about 60% of the time here today in the 24 pitches he's thrown.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Castellanos couldn't hold up, and Archer has fanned a pair now. 2 gone. There's the ratio. It's not been very good for Archer, but he's got himself a chance now to pitch out of this jam. Upton in the series is 3 for 13 with a double. He doubled in yesterday's ball game. First one is in for a strike. 0-1. That's pretty good. 4 grand slams, 314 career loaded, 3 for 5 this year. The 0-1. Good block at home plate by Casale.
He's already gotten down there and gotten dirty and blocked a couple of those Archer sliders. Looks like it's going to be a busy afternoon for Casale. Tigers cannot squander this run at third base.
Well, Archer about to throw his 28th pitch, so at the very least a very stressful first inning. Here's the 1-1 swing and a miss. 1-2 on Upton. Now the fans starting to make some noise. Archer one pitch away from leaving them loaded. Here's the 1-2. Got him, strike 3, and Chris Archer strikes out the side, and the Tigers leave him loaded. Wow. Still no score. Wayside as we go to the bottom of the first. Mike Pelfrey is on the hill, presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
It was starting to look like big Mike Pelfrey was going to take the mound with a lead here in the first inning, but that's not the case here. He has lost 7. He has won 2. He won his last outing. They'll be looking for him to throw lots of ground balls today, and the infielders always know it's going to be a busy day when Pelfrey's on the mound.
Logan Forsythe will be leading it off here for the Rays. And the first one is hit for a strike, 0-1.
And Pelfrey has a fastball that really sits around 92, 93. Every now and then he can get up to 95. Also has a breaking ball, and he has a nice assortment of split-fingered fastballs that he will feature here this afternoon.
His last start was kind of a strange start to watch. He went 5 1/3, gave up 12 hits, and won the game.
Yeah, those double play balls, man, that he has the uncanny ability of throwing really helps bail him out of a lot of jams that he gets himself in.
Bouncing ball right side, easy play for Kinsler. Forsythe is out, one away. The rest of the lineup for the Rays, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Forsythe, Miller, and Longoria at the top. Morrison at first base. Brandon Guyer having a tough series, just 1 for 12. Souza is in right, and you've got Dickerson, Franklin, and Casali rounding it out for the Rays as Brad Miller stands in. Miller 2 out of 13 in the series. His home run was hit a couple of nights ago in the 9th inning against Mark Lowe. An opposite field home run.
For the most part, the Tigers have been able to slow down the majority of the batters in the Tampa lineup, with the exception of Evan Longoria.
Here is Pelfrey's 1-0 pitch. Lifted back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it's a team, this Tampa team, that hits a ton of home runs, but Tigers pitching for the most part has limited that. Just the Miller home run. Strike called, 1-2. Pelfrey 2 wins, 7 defeats. And a bunch of no decisions mixed in as well. And that's down the middle. A strike called. Got him looking. Miller is out of there. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health. You've got Upton, you've got Romine and Moya in the outfield. Iglesias, Kinsler up the middle. Miguel Cabrera at first. Castellanos over at third. And James McCann catching Mike Pelfrey this afternoon. Real nice swing back fastball here to get Miller, strike 3. That ball ended up right over the heart of the plate at 94.
Longoria slices one to right field. Moya is on the move, and that is that for the Rays. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left. We go to the second. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Jeep, see your Jeep dealer today and experience the freedom that comes with legendary capability. And by Kroger. Back here at Tropicana Field, we're in St. Petersburg, Florida today, where it's really warm and humid outside, but 70 degrees indoors. And Chris Archer back to the hill after wiggling out of a jam somehow in that first inning. Steven Moya leads it off, ball 1 high to Moya.
And Chris Archer struck out Vmart, Castellanos, and Upton, all on mid to upper 90s fastballs.
Moya cuts and misses on a 94-mile-an-hour heater. Steven getting the start in right field today is 0 for 3 in the series. Mike Avila started yesterday. The 1-1 sails high again. 2 balls, 1 strike. Archer has been missing up a lot with that fastball early in this game. Here's the 2-1. That one missed low. 3-1. 29 pitch first inning. It's fouled back out of play. 3-2 on Moya. McCann waiting on deck. Stevens, since being recalled in the 10 games that he has played, is batting .324. Swing and a miss. Archer has another strikeout, his 4th straight. 1 gone. Well, today's game is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and its ships at sea. Welcome. on this 4th of July weekend, we thank you for all you do. Here is McCann. 3 out of 8 in the series for James. And McCann looks at a ball low. Archer this year has gone double digits in strikeouts a couple of times, 3 to be exact. His strikeout high this year is 12, and he already has 4 today. And that's outside 2-0. The one thing he is doing right, though, is throwing a lot of pitches early here.
He really is. And then the one thing that they talked about with Archer, they want his fastball command to be better. We've seen some good fastballs already today, 95 and above, but he just doesn't throw it over the plate all that often. That's what they're looking for from him today, more consistency with that pitch.
That one missed high, and the count goes 3-0.
There's no doubt this kid still has a very good arm. 98 with the fastball, unhittable slider at times.
And he missed on 4 straight. Ball 4 to McCann.
Here's what a lot of the Tigers were telling me about Archer today. And this is the pitch that they really have not seen from him this year. This was Archer last year. This is the slider. It was simply electric. He threw it off the plate. He froze right-handers with it. He threw it backdoor to left-handers. This guy used the slider a lot, and it was a very effective pitch for him. That pitch has not been all that good this year. That's why the number's very, very high right now for Chris Archer.
Here's Andrew Romine. He's getting the start in center field today for Cameron Maybin. Romine batting 185 is 4 for 8 against Archer with a triple. The 1-0. And he continues to fall behind hitters, and now Casali runs out to the mound. He struck out Moya to start the inning, but he fell behind him as well. That's just not going to get it done over the long haul. Eventually that ratio will catch up. 41 now as we play here in the second.
Well, what the Tigers hope to accomplish here today is to get back into that Tampa bullpen, which is what they've been able to do the first 3 games of the series. And the bullpen for Kevin Cash, their manager, has really struggled the last couple of weeks.
2-0 is down the middle. 2-1 on Romine.
And by Archer throwing so many pitches here today already. He's already thrown 42. And they're pretty much guaranteed to get into that bullpen again early today.
Here's the 2-1. Just off the plate outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Archer has walked the number 8 hitter, and now he's gone 3-1 on the 9 hitter. Romine will foul that one back. 3-2. Top of the order waiting on deck, Kinsler. You tuned in a little bit late today. Kinsler walked in the first, then Iglesias singled and Miggy walked. They were bases loaded, nobody out, and then 3 straight strikeouts for the Rays right-hander.
We'll see if Brad has enough confidence in Romine to put the ball in play by allowing McCann to take off.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes for the 5th strikeout for Archer.
And good thing that he wasn't running. I think one of the things that may have helped Brad make that decision is the fact that Archer, already with 4 strikeouts, now has 5 strikeouts. He didn't want to run into an out there by allowing McCann to take off. This line looks crazy, man. 3 walks, but he's got 5 strikeouts.
And about 1,000 pitches already.
Yeah, not a whole lot of balls being put in play today against Archer.
In fact, the only one that was put in play to this point is Iglesias' single. And we've gone through 9 batters now. The rest are either walks or strikeouts. Again, as Archer falls behind, the count is 1-0. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Kinsler looks at a strike up with the right hand. Goes Hunter Wendelstedt. And Ian with a look of disbelief on his face. 1-2. Here comes the crowd again. That was barely a strike. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Archer again strikes out the side. 6 strikeouts in the ball game for the Rays right-hander. Bottom of the second, Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup as Logan Morrison stands in. Here are the career numbers against Mike Pelfrey. Only 2 for 15, a couple of strikeouts. And Pelfrey goes to work after a 1-2-3 first inning. First one is hammered in the air toward left field. On the move is Upton going to the corner. 1 pitch and 1 out. 4 straight retired now by Pelfrey. And now Brandon Geyer. Geyer only 1 for 12 in the series.
Yeah, Geyer had spent some time on the disabled list. He's just been off the disabled list for about 4 games and is still trying to find his stroke.
Tigers in this series batting .291. The Rays just .237. Verlander was really good yesterday. 1 and toward third, a good one. Castellanos going to have to eat it. That'll be a bunt single for Geyer.
It's a good idea by Geyer, and it's executed beautifully. And Castellanos was playing deep at the third base position. He recognized that. And then when you add in the fact that he was 1 for 12 going into that at bat, why not bunt for a knock?
No doubt. So just his second hit in the series, and now Pelfrey will pitch against Steven Souza Jr.
These particular situations are no issue for Pelfrey. Usually when there's a runner on first base, he does a nice job of making sure that base runner doesn't steal. And because he always knows he's 1 ground ball away from getting out of jams.
Pelfrey this year has had 18 double plays turned behind him.
29 of those last year. So it's kind of getting to the point now, if you're opposing manager and Pelfrey's on the mound, if you get yourself in a situation where there's a runner on first base, you do yourself a disservice if you don't put a runner in motion every now and then. There's a lot of data there the last couple of years.
Geyer chased back.
But Pelfrey does a pretty nice job. He's pretty quick to the plate. And then when you add in the fact that McCann behind the dish has one of your better throwing arms of all catchers in the majors.
Pelfrey making sure that Geyer doesn't get too comfortable at first base. Souza is 1 for 3 in the series. Mickey talking again.
Imagine that.
We got a chuckle out of Geyer as well. That'll miss inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's what Mike does so well. That fastball at about 93, 94. He starts it right down the middle. And because of the way that he grips it and the way that it releases out of his hand, it's got that natural running motion inside the right-handers. And we hear him break a lot of bats. And we see a lot of bats broken when he's on the mound.
Over the heart of the plate for a strike. 1 and 2. Pelfrey's last start came against the Marlins. You mentioned the numbers that he put up, the 12 hits. Despite that, he picked up a victory. The 12 hits was a season high, tied a season high. I think going forward, the Tigers want to see more consistency out of their entire ball club and stay away from the roller coaster ride they have had. But a lot of that has to do with the starting pitching. It was like for them to level off a little bit. We saw Verlander pitch well. We saw Fulmer pitch well in this series.
That's a great point. And that's how they're going to get back in this thing, especially in the Central. If they start to get some consistent pitching, they've got plenty of offense. And the defense hasn't been bad.
Here's the 1-2, and it's strike 3 call. Souza is out of there. Second strikeout now for Pelfrey.
That's about as well as you can locate a 93-mile-per-hour swing-back fastball there to get Souza Jr. looking.
Stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire, doesn't like to ring up players, does he?
No, he does not.
On strike 3, he just simply throws the right hand up, as he would call any other strike. Corey Dickerson is the batter with 2 outs and a runner at first. Good power in this series, 3 for 10. He has hit 13 home runs, all of them against right-handed pitching. Fouls that one off 0-1.
Dickerson hit 300 last year playing for the Colorado Rockies, and many wondered whether those numbers would translate here down to Tampa, down to South Florida, because the ballpark that he played in the last few years is such a hitter-friendly ballpark.
Rays gave up Jake McGee, who is now pitching in the Colorado bullpen, and his ERA is north of 5.
I guess he don't like it up there either.
No, apparently not.
Most pitchers don't like pitching in Denver.
Here's the 0-1. Fouled off again. 0-2 now on Dickerson. Tigers play the final game in this series before heading into Cleveland. It'll be a huge 3-game series tomorrow, and if somehow, some way they can get to Cleveland down 5.5, which is doable if they win today and the Indians lose, that was or will make that series very interesting. It's going to be interesting anyway. The 0-2 is in the air toward left. Upton is on the move, still going back to the warning track to make the catch. And that's all for the Rays. No runs to hit, 1 man left.
Tuned in a little bit late here this afternoon. The Tigers had a golden opportunity in the first, a walk, and then a base hit by Iglesias. Another walk to Miguel Cabrera. Bases loaded, nobody out, but a strikeout of Victor Martinez, Castellanos, and Justin Upton. And just like that, Chris Archer pitched himself out of that first inning jam.
Well, he has struck out 6 in 2 innings. But he has just thrown his 50th pitch of the afternoon, and the reason his pitch count has been so high, even though he has the strikeouts, he hasn't been efficient with those strikeouts. He's constantly falling behind batters. Here's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Iglesias, Cabrera, Martinez, 2, 3, and 4 for the Tigers here in the third. Iglesias shot a ball to the right side of the infield in the first inning for a base hit. One and 2.
Jose Iglesias in his last 33 games, the batting average is over 300. And he's gotten that batting average all the way up close to 260 these days.
He is just on his game right now. We talked about him at the top of the show, whether it's defense or with the bat. There's a chopper hit to second base. Forsythe will throw him out, 1 away. Well, we got a big game tomorrow. Make us part of your 4th of July festivities. Tigers baseball. Don't forget Tigers Indians. Coverage begins with Tigers Live at 6 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
And Tigers are going to see 3 really good starters for Cleveland in that series. Salazar, Carrasco, and then Tomlin.
6.5 separating the Indians from the Tigers. First one is in for a strike on Cabrera, who walked in the first inning. Miguel has that average back up to 300 now. Just another one misses way high. Miguel now closing in on yet another milestone. He needs 4 RBIs for 1,500 in his career. Again up 2-1.
It appears that every week Miguel Cabrera approaching a new milestone.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, he's accomplishing something at all times. Played in his 2000th game. Checked it. Did he go? Did not.
And when it's all said and done, Miguel Cabrera will go down as one of the top 5 hitters that have ever played the game of baseball. Ever played the game of baseball.
Back in June, he recorded his 2,400th hit. 3-1 is in for a strike. 3-2 on Miggy. Cabrera didn't like it, and he's chatting now with Hunter Wendelstedt.
He must have thought that the slider thrown there by Archer was upstairs.
Barely caught the strike zone.
Archer usually throws a lot of sliders when he has 2 strikes on the hitter, but today he's kind of flipped the script, and it's kind of worked to his advantage. 4 of the 6 strikeouts that Archer already has in the game here this afternoon have been fastballs in the mid-90s, not the slider.
That's lifted down the right side. First baseman Morrison over to make a tough play in the bullpen. And Cabrera's out. 2 gone. You see that 29 pitch first, then 20 in the second.
Number 41, Victor Martinez.
Here is Victor Martinez with 2 away. This is where it all started for Archer in the first inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. He was able to strike out Martinez swinging.
Just knew that Victor was going to drive in at least one of those runs. He went into that at bat with a .351 batting average with runners in scoring position.
On the outer edge.
And one of the few changeups that Archer has thrown today at 87 miles an hour. Pretty nice action on that circle change.
Playing to pull defensively against Martinez. 0-2. He already has 6 strikeouts in this game. That'll dive low. Archer last year made his first All-Star team. He also established a franchise record. He struck out 252 last year. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High fly ball, deep right center field. Ball hit well. Geyer going back to the track to make the catch. Up against the wall, Brandon Geyer ran it down. Doing his best Kevin Kiermaier impression. And a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Archer. Here at St. Pete, we're at Tropicana Field, the Tigers and Rays in the final game of the series. Nick Franklin leads it off against Mike Pelfrey. He'll slice one right at third. Diving catch by Castellanos. Little snow cone, too.
I see you, Nicholas.
1 pitch, 1 out. What flavor did you have on that snow cone?
I'll take a little raspberry.
A little raspberry today.
A little raspberry today.
Went off the board there.
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't expecting that. Here's Kurt Casale.
It's almost like he just fell down.
He pretty much did.
Yeah, he did.
Casale 1 for 3 in the series. Had a single in yesterday's ball game. Former Tiger farmhand, spent a couple of years in the minor league system for the Tigers. He was originally drafted in the 10th round in 2011 by Detroit. Chopped foul. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's one thing I've noticed about this Rays team the last 3 days. They swing early, they swing often. They don't work a lot of counts. They don't go deep in counts. They don't walk a lot. And therefore lots of very low batting averages, but they do have some power because they will jump on a first pitch fastball. And Mike Pelfrey pitch count so far in outstanding shape.
Grounded foul. Casale was drafted the same year that James McCann was drafted by the Tigers. The 2011 draft. Of course, McCann now the starter for Detroit, and Casale catching here in Tampa.
And Casale played his college ball at Vanderbilt.
Here's the 1-2 pitch that sails outside. The major leagues are dotted with the former Vanderbilt Commodores. A lot of them playing in the big leagues. Forsythe waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2.
Here's an example of the action on the two-seam fastball thrown by Pelfrey. You see it right down the middle, right there. Then all of a sudden that ball just kind of leaks in on the inside part of the plate on the right-handers. And you see a lot of swings just like that.
Low ball 3.
Is it just me, or is it Pelfrey quickened the pace here today, Mario? I kind of noticed it his last outing as well. Or is it just because you think there's been no traffic on the base paths?
You know, I really haven't noticed yet, but I think it might be because there really hadn't been anybody on. He gave up 12 hits in that last start. There's one hopper hit back up the middle. Nice play, Kinsler.
Ooh, Kinsler, did you?
You know, that play is almost routine for this guy.
He is a nice player, man. On both sides of the ball, to the left, to the right. Quick to get to his feet. Accurate with the throwing arm. He's an all-star this year.
2 gone. Here is Logan Forsythe. Oh for 1 with a ground out.
Did you just say that was a routine play?
I said it's routine for that guy.
Oh, okay.
He makes them routine. 1 ball to no strikes.
Yeah, he is nice at that position for sure. He's only made 3 errors himself. And Tigers double play combination of Iglesias and Ian Kinsler, some of the best in baseball.
Little chopper toward third, foul. Kinsler's always said that he doesn't want to be a one-dimensional player, and he certainly has been a great offensive player, but you know, he is borderline Gold Glove caliber down at second.
He's gotten close to winning a couple of them, but he's never really been able to get one.
1 ball, 1 strike.
This might be the year.
Another. And Pelfrey going to try it. Probably should have held on to it, but it'll be a base hit for Forsythe. Time for a game break now. We check in with Justin White.
Number 13, Brad Miller.
All right, Justin, thanks. So that's good news out of Rogers Center.
That's been a tough place to win anyway, Rogers Center, in the last couple of years. For a lot of teams.
Tigers included, and they are headed to Rogers Center after Cleveland. Here's Brad Miller. That infield hit by Forsythe, the second hit of the game. And neither of them have left the infield. The other was a bunt single by Geyer. Miller struck out in the first. Little chopper back to the mound. That'll be it for the Rays. Pelfrey throws him out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. 3 in the books here in St. Pete. Money encounter, the head-to-head this season, Rod, certainly has been heavily in the favor of the Tigers.
And the Tigers batting average nearly 300, while the Rays are hitting barely 240. Obviously runs per game, home runs, every single category. The Tigers have outplayed Tampa this year.
Tigers now have Castellanos leading off the 4th inning. He'll be followed by Upton and Moya. First one hammered back out of play by Nick.
Archer threw a lot of sliders, and it got him in trouble in the very first inning. The Tigers loaded the bases, and they could not score a run against him. But since then, this guy's thrown a lot of fastballs. All the fastballs have been in the mid-90s with much better location today.
We lead that one right in there. It's fouled straight back.
Archer's life would be made a whole lot easier if he would pitch inside every now and then. And you throw 95, 96, and the hitters are not in fear of you throwing inside. Now they can simply dive out over the plate all day long.
Only Chris Sale last year finished with more strikeouts than Archer, who landed 5th in the Cy Young voting last season.
Speaking of Chris Sale, man, did you see he won his 14th game yesterday?
He did.
14 games before the break.
Swing and a miss. Castellanos is out. That's the 2nd time he's fanned in the game. 7 in the strikeout column now for Archer. Here is Justin Upton.
Number 8, Justin.
Chris Sale is trying to single-handedly keep the White Sox in the race. After they got out to that terrific start there, 1 game over 500 coming into play.
It's looking like he's going to be the likely candidate as well to start the All-Star game. I can't imagine Ned Yost picking anybody else but Chris Sale.
1 ball, no strikes on Justin Upton.
As long as his days line up, and they appear to be lining up that way. He pitched yesterday.
Yeah, my little brother still works a house there. My mom lives in Clinton Township. Okay. I used to work with the
1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah. Like I only. It's so long. Back when it was good. Like 22 years ago, so.
Threw it right by him in 96. Up the letters 1 and 2. Well, the only other pitchers in the American League that in double digits and win are Salazar of Cleveland. He's been good with 10. Tillman has 10. And Jay Happ has 10. So yeah, it's got to be Chris Sale.
No doubt.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Upton. Moya waiting on deck. Slider is hammered toward left. That's going to get down. A base hit. So Upton with a 1-out single. Hey fans, got a ticket to see the Tigers play the Royals on July 15th at 7:10 p.m. plus a 16-ounce beer for as low as $19. It's the Friday night party package. Visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER.
Friday nights are always real cool at Comerica Park. Fireworks that night.
Here's Moya. Ball 1 outside to Moya. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Tigers have just picked up their 2nd hit of the game. Ball high, and the count goes 2-0. Archer now at 75. And at this pace, there's probably no way he'll go more than 6 in this game, if he can get there. Swing and a miss.
Have you ever gone downtown to watch the The big fireworks in downtown Detroit.
Long time ago. Haven't been there recently, though.
I went down there last week, man.
Good.
And I went up top to the Ren Center, so I was way up top.
You were
know
the
that?
high rollers.
I was, well, no, just kind of the small. I sat on the other side. Now, the high rollers were on one side, and then there was my side.
And there was you.
Yeah, but anyway, man, it was special, man.
Yeah.
It was spectacular. I'm not big on that kind of stuff, but, man, it was an unbelievable show.
Yeah, it always has been. It's had a reputation of being one of the best in the nation, and I think it's deservedly so because it's a fabulous show.
People everywhere. I mean, you could look over on the Canada side, man. People just lined all the way up and down.
Pretty cool, huh?
It was fascinating.
2-2 on Moya. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second. Tag, got him. Up and is thrown out on a bullet, a laser by Casale. We'll see if the Tigers want to look at it. I'm sure they will at least take a look at the video at the very least. But Casale with another strong throw to second base. He is a much better thrower than Hank Conger. And the Tigers are going to wave it off. So the throw out stands. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth here in St. Pete, and it's going to be Evan Longoria, Logan Morrison, Brandon Guyer facing Mike Pelfrey. So far so good for Pelfrey. First one is right down the middle at 95. Longoria hit a fly ball to right field on the first pitch he saw back in the first inning. More of a line drive than a fly ball. There's a breaking ball that dives outside. Longoria was the Rookie of the Year back in 2008. Mike Avila's finished 5th that season in the voting. Ground ball third base side. Castellanos, 1 out. Here are the Chevy Silverado most dependable players for the Tigers in the last 2 starts. Pretty good. Fulmer and Verlander.
14 innings combined by the 2. The Rays only got 6 hits off of them, and they struck out 18 Tampa Bay runners, Tampa Bay hitters, I should say.
Michael Fulmer making a bid to become the Rookie of the Year if he continues this in the second half, and who knows, maybe an all-star berth.
He's must-see TV. We know that much too, Michael Fulmer.
I think the Rays have pretty much seen enough of Michael Fulmer.
Yeah, for a couple of years.
That ball sails outside to Logan Morrison. He's batting with 1 out here in the fourth, no score. Both teams have 2 hits. Shifting to the right side with Castellanos moving to short right field. They'll hit it the other way, but right there is Iglesias. 2 gone. That is a 6-3 ground out. Iglesias makes the play. Here's Brandon Guyer. Gotta like what Pelfrey's done so far in this game.
A lot of ground ball outs already. And that's his MO. Every time he goes out there, the infielders, they know there's going to be a lot of ground balls hitting their direction.
Guyer has one of the 2 Rays hits, a bunt single back in the 2nd. Ball 1. There you go. 5 ground ball outs, a couple of strikeouts, everything else in the air. Guyer was hit by a pitch last night, the 16th time he has been hit this year, which leads the league.
And he spent some time on the disabled list.
Mention that. And he also tied Carlos Pena for the franchise record in that category, 51.
Well, you can see how he violently dives in toward home plate when the ball's on its way toward home. Take a look at the front side of his body and how he just dives violently into home plate. And when you dive this violently into home plate with that front foot, you're not going to get out of the way of fastballs inside.
He's got himself a 2-out walk. Pelfrey now is at 40. There's Steven Souza Jr.
Of the 40 pitches that Pelfrey has thrown, 25 of those have hit the strike zone. So the command not bad today.
Souza with 2 outs. Souza was a member of the Washington Nationals. In fact, he spent 8 years in their minor league system before he even got a shot to play at the big league level. He's got a lot of at-bats in the minors as a National. And you look at a ball outside.
Some, Mario, say this may be the catch of the year for Souza Jr. Chris Davis hit a ball to right field, and look at him stretch out for this ball and make a spectacular catch.
Oh, that's going to be tough to beat. Well, Souza has had a habit of doing that, and maybe, just maybe, that's why he ends up on the TL as much as he does.
Yeah, that's right.
He loves to throw his body around. 1 ball, no strikes on Souza. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Souza grew up in the Seattle area and really got, I think, interested in baseball. At least he said he did, because of that '95 Seattle team, which made a run to the postseason.
That saved baseball in Seattle.
Yep. Yeah, they were playing at the Kingdome at the time, and that really pretty much got the new stadium built.
Right.
But they had a great team then. Of course, he had Griffey and Edgar and Buhner.
Randy.
Yeah, I can't forget about him. Guyer, the runner at first. No score as we play in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss right over the top.
Good pitch. Good arm action on that split-fingered fastball there, thrown by Pelfrey at about 82 miles an hour. You won't get hurt with this location. See, Pelfrey grabs that split-fingered grip, and before he even puts the ball in his glove. And then if he chooses to change it while it's in there, that's exactly what he'll do.
He went around, and Guyer didn't, or Souza rather, didn't like it, but he's punched out of there by Hunter Wendelstedt. Pelfrey with 4 scoreless in St. Pete today. It is time for T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball, and let's see what's been going on in big league ball last couple of days. We had some funky stuff going on.
19-inning game, 14-inning game, 12 and 10. Oh, that's all on Friday.
How about those two big scores yesterday? 17-5 and 21-2.
A lot of position players pitching because of those high numbers.
C.J. Cron of the Angels 8 for 11 the last 2 days.
He was 6 for 6 yesterday with 2 homers. Nearly hit a third.
A lot of offensive stuff going on in the major leagues.
How long was that game at Boston yesterday? The games are already long there.
Oh, no kidding, man. 21-2, maybe a 5-hour game. Who knows? McCann, Romine, and Kinsler. Archer delivers. It is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 80 now for Archer as he pitches here in the 5th.
We told you that Chris Archer has really struggled in the first inning this year.
Soft line drive caught by Forsythe.
His earned run average is over 10. But once he gets out of the first inning, the ERA is just a shade over 3.5. So the Tigers have got their work cut out for them the remainder of this game because they squandered no outs, bases loaded in the first inning. They could not score a run.
And they've had just a couple of base runners the rest of the way. A walk to McCann, a single by Upton. Romine 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Andrew this season has now played first, second, third, and short. He's also played center and right, and he's pitched.
I'd say he's valuable.
I would say so. The definition of a utility man. Got himself at a 2-0 count. And he lays off 3 balls, no strikes.
Tigers going with 13 pitchers right now. They've got 8 pitchers in their bullpen, and Brad Ausmus said that he doesn't see anything changing in that regard in the near future. But most teams have 12 max. Some teams have 11 pitchers, but right now they're electing to go to 13.
Well, Pelfrey's been good today. Bullpen has been really good of late. There's another strike, and now it's gone from 3-0 to 3-2. Kinsler waiting on deck. Back out of play. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Ground ball right side, glove there by Morrison. Pitcher will cover for the out. And there are 2 gone. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Strikeout and a walk for Kinsler. So Archer really has gathered himself and has put together a pretty good start here with 8 strikeouts. He's given up just a couple of hits. Kinsler backs out of there, and a fastball right at his elbows. Here's the 1-0. Ian now with 30 multi-hit games this year. Among the leaders in runs scored. Just off the plate. 2-1. Good bender on the inside part of the plate. 2-2. Archer in search of his 9th strikeout. And there it is. He got him looking. Kinsler is out of there. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet. More than you expect for less than you imagine. That's how fast Rod Allen drives right here.
Not even close, partner.
He was a little late getting to the ballpark today. No score as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Holiday weekend, man. You got to be careful on them roads out there.
Here is Corey Dickerson to lead it off, and the first one is a strike called on Dickerson. He flied out his first time up. Franklin and then Casale to follow here in the bottom of the 5th. No score. Both teams have had 2 hits. Neither team has scored a run. Here's the 0-1. Dickerson chops one to second. Kinsler has the play, and there's 1 out.
Imagine that. Another ground ball thrown by Mike Pelfrey.
He has gotten a ton of those here this afternoon. Here is Nick Franklin. Franklin hit a line drive to the left side of the infield, a diving play by Castellanos. Strike 1. Franklin has 3 RBIs in the series, 1 for 7. That one darts low. They called him up on June 21st from AAA. The second stint for Franklin with the big club, and he lines one to right on a couple of hops. It'll roll to the right fielder Moya. 1 on 1 out. We check in now with Trevor Thompson.
Mario, through this first half, it's no secret that Brad Ausmus has managed this team under some stress and some adversity. And I talked with GM Al Avila earlier today and asked him what he liked most about the way that Brad handled himself and his team through all of that. And he said he just loved the way he handled the pitching staff, both the starting rotation and the bullpen. Loves the way he gives his veteran guys days off. When they get back in the lineup, they bounce right back with productivity. And he just loves the fact that he depends on his veteran players to lead these guys through the tough times. All the support in the world for Brad Ausmus by GM Al Avila in our conversation earlier today. Back upstairs, guys.
All right, Trev, thanks. Well, one thing you can say about Brad, man, he's kept an even keel through it all.
That he has done.
There's the drive to right field, going to get down and go to the corner. Extra bases, might get a run in. Here's Franklin rounding third. They're going to send him home, and he will score. It's a double and an RBI for Curt Casali.
We told you that the Tampa team, they like to swing early, they like to swing often. Casali got himself a nice two-seam fastball that ended up right over the heart of the plate, and he sliced it down in the right field corner. By the time Moya got there to pick it up, Franklin was headed around third and sent home for the first run of the game.
18th RBI for Casali. Rays scored first here this afternoon. Here is Logan Forsythe. He is 1 for 2 with an infield hit. Chopper to the shortstop, to his left, Iglesias. And he'll take care of Forsythe. Runner will move to third with 2 outs.
What in the world was Iglesias doing on this play?
I don't know.
I think he thought there was a runner on first base or something.
It looked like he wanted to start turn 2. Unless he was just being flashy.
I don't know what he was doing, but take a look at him here. Ground ball. Kenders is nowhere around the bag. Look how he wanted to flip to Ian. Like it's a double play ball. What in the world?
He had a smile on his face, so maybe he thought there was a runner at first. Here's Miller. Ball 1 high. 1 out single by Franklin, double by Casali, and the Rays lead 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Right at the knees, a strike called, 1-1. We mentioned that Pelfrey in his last start surrendered 12 hits to the Marlins. He has given up just 4 today. He's been much better. Ooh, look out. There goes the bat. All the way down the first base line and right into the camera well. Everyone appears to be okay.
He launched that thing.
Oh, man. I don't know how those guys get out of the way. I mean, they're concentrating on taking their picture. And I would think their focus is on that, not the bat flying in.
Right.
1-2 on Brad Miller. 0 for 2, strikeout, and a comebacker to the mound. Two and 2.
They're talking about it now. That's what the fella down there in the Rays shirt is for, right?
Yeah,
protect
I would
him,
imagine.
Right?
Look out. Now Pelfrey with the 2-2. It's inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes with Longoria waiting on deck.
Appeared to be off the plate just a hair.
Ground ball to second. That'll be Kinsler. And they'll give up just the 1 run. On a couple of hits, man left at third. Saturday, July 16th at 7:10 p.m. Brandon Inge will take part in a pregame Q&A session as part of the season-long celebration of the 10th anniversary of the 06 AL Champs. Visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Brandon Inge coming back to town. Well, the Tigers have some work to do now. They're down by a run as we go to the 6th inning. It'll be Iglesias, Cabrera, and Martinez, 2, 3, and 4. Against Chris Archer. Iglesias with a single and a ground out.
Iglesias was looking down toward third base. He may be entertaining the thought of trying to bunt down in Lagoria's area. Better be a good bunt, though.
There he is. They're going to show it, but pulled it back. One ball and one strike on Iglesias. 306 over his last 19 games. Strike called, now 1-2. So Archer is gaining on 100 pitches, but he's done a good job of at least giving himself a chance to go 6 innings in this game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled away.
He is pitching much better today than he has been his last 3 starts for sure. He had given up at least 4 earned runs in his last 4 starts, in every start.
Ooh, he thought about it. Iglesias almost offered after that slider, but didn't do it.
It's tough to lay off of. You can see how long that ball stayed in the strike zone.
Right back up the middle. Going to be a tough play for Miller. No shot. His throw is high, and it's going to be an infield hit.
That's the second time that Archer has thrown a pretty good slider to Iglesias, and Iglesias has gotten a base hit. That is not a bad pitch either by Archer, but Iglesias, his hand-eye coordination is exceptional.
So the Tigers have their 3rd hit of the game. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. This will be the 100th pitch of the afternoon for Archer. Miggy a walk and a pop-up in this game. Matt Andriese warming up in the Rays bullpen. A little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cabrera this year has hit 3 home runs against the Rays. Foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Miguel.
Pretty good slider there thrown by Chris. Told you the time to get him is the first time through. They had him on the ropes, but they let him off. He gets tougher the 2nd time through, 3rd time through.
Down the right field line, slicing away from Sousa, back out of play. Archer came in having lost 4 consecutive starts and 5 of the 6 that he made in the month of June. And again a 1-2. He would not chase a ball that dives in the dirt. Victor Martinez on deck. Rays trying to get Archer through 6 in this game. Pitch count at 104 now. Season high 10, or make it 115. Here's the 2-2. Way outside, going to go to the backstop. That'll advance the runner. So Iglesias moves up into scoring position now.
And nothing Casale, the catcher, can do here.
Full count.
Chris Archer has now thrown 8 wild pitches.
They've scored that out of pass ball.
Did they really?
That's what it says up there on the scoreboard. Pass ball. He had no shot to stop that thing. Full count. 3-2. Another foul, back out of play.
Here's one more look at the pass ball. Oh, they changed it to a wild pitch now, I guess.
Do they?
Yeah, I guess.
Pitch.
Oh, well.
That's why we do this in pencil.
Some of us.
Some of us, yeah. 3-2. Swing and a miss at 95 at the letters.
The majority of Archer's strikeouts today have come on that exact same pitch. The fastball in the mid-90s right above the belt buckle. He has gotten the majority of his strikeouts right here.
Jim Hickey coming out of the dugout now, the pitching coach.
Well, Victor Martinez really does not have good numbers at all in his career against Chris Archer, so you wonder what they're telling him here. They're not probably going to walk Victor with the base open, but he's probably talking about pitching carefully to him. But Victor has not hit him well.
And Martinez is 0 for 2 in this game.
That makes him 2 for 13 in his career against Archer.
Archer, by the way, now has 10 strikeouts. He's gone double digits a total of 4 times this year. Tying run, standing at second with 1 out. Martinez strikeout and a fly to deep center field that chased Geyer to the wall. Bender drops in for a strike.
And the Rays are overshifting in the infield with Victor up, and Victor has the ability to drive that ball right through the vacated hole here, through the shortstop hole. He has that kind of bat control.
Iglesias got it started with a single infield hit. Moved up on a wild pitch, and the strikeout of Cabrera, the first out of the inning. Archer again to start the game. Had the bases loaded, nobody out, but then struck out Vimart, Castellanos, and Upton at first. One ball, one strike.
And Chris Archer is quickly approaching his season high in pitches thrown.
Ground ball to first. That'll be a fair ball, but scooped up by the first baseman Morrison. He'll tag the bag for the out. That'll advance the runner to third. 2 gone.
Here is our high-speed pitch, and it is brought to you by Xfinity. Chris Archer has been all the way up to 97 and has gone as low as 83 with one of his sliders.
So here is Castellanos with 2 outs. Nick, a pair of strikeouts in this game.
He has started Nick off with breaking balls his first 2 times up today.
Fastball missing low that time.
A little show me fastball there by Archer to Castellanos. He wants to get him out with a breaking ball. Castellanos, outstanding fastball hitter, and has been very good in these type of situations this year.
That one's on the corner, a strike. Archer knows this is probably his last batter here. He can let it all hang out here against Castellanos. Outside, 2-1. Fouled off, and now the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Archer's strikeout high this year is 12. He's done it twice. He's looking for his 11th with Upton waiting on deck. Castellanos hit by the pitch.
Oh my goodness.
That did not sound good.
We were just talking about the fact that this man has gone a calendar year without hitting a batter. 33 starts the last time Archer hit a batter.
Oh, you could tell Nick is in some pain right now. Kevin Rand out to look at that right hand, focusing on the thumb.
Nick had nowhere to go on the fastball that Casale called for up, but this one just sailed on Archer.
Man, oh man. Going to be it for Archer. They're going to take him out of the game. So he has faced his last batter, and he will depart with runners at first and third. Nick going to stay in the game. It's a Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back. Nick Castellanos will stay in the game. Matt Andriese is coming in for the Rays.
Andriese pitched a really good game here on Thursday. It was a game the Tigers were able to come back real late in, but not against him. In 3 innings pitched, he threw 27 pitches and gave up just 1 hit to Tiger bats.
That was a double with 2 outs by Iglesias in the 8th inning, but then it got Kinsler, and then it all imploded in the 9th inning when the Tigers scored 8 against the rest of the Rays pen.
And there was a lot of second guessing going on, as you could imagine, on the Rays side. A lot of people felt like Kevin Cash should have left Andriese in there for the 4th inning of work, but it's not usual that relievers pitch 4 innings in a game.
So here is Upton now, and he'll look at ball 1.
He throws across his body, which makes him difficult to pick up. Cutter breaking ball thrown by Andriese.
Upton with a single and a strikeout against Archer.
I'm sorry I asked this question.
Rays got a run on the RBI double by Kurt Casale. And Casale given time now as Upton steps out. Archer hoping his relievers can hold this one down. It's a slim 1-0 lead for the Rays. Sharp line drive and caught by Miller.
That was an absolute missile.
Cannot hit it any harder, but he hit it right at him.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Mike Pelfrey's only given up 4 hits in the game. He's thrown plenty of ground balls, but he does that every time he does go out there. And when not throwing a ground ball, getting lazy pop-ups and an occasional strikeout or 2. Nice effort so far today, turned in by Pelfrey, and he's thrown 8 ground ball outs.
Meanwhile, it'll be the Rays. Evan Longoria leading it off here in the 6th inning. Longoria, Morrison, and Geyer. There's the out breakdown for Pelfrey. 1-0. Rays have the lead. And Longoria watches it float in for a strike. 1-1.
It's a nice little bender there thrown by Pelfrey. He has started to do a lot more of that in his last few outings. Fastball gets up to 96. Nice breaking ball. Good split change.
Hit hard on the ground. Iglesias sprawling to his feet. Is thrown in time.
Do it, Iggy.
Jose Iglesias continues to play sparkling defense at short.
He is so athletic. He takes a couple of steps. He goes to the ground, but he gets up quickly, and then enough arm strength to throw back across his body accurately to Miguel Cabrera. He has been outstanding at the shortstop position all season.
fastball was scalded. Here's Logan Morrison.
It's 9 ground ball outs now for Mike Pelfrey. The last 2 hitters have hit the ball extremely hard, and they got nothing to show for it.
Well, Upton's at bat has to be the most frustrating thing for a hitter. I mean, you cannot literally hit a ball harder than that, but he hit it right at the shortstop Miller.
Hit speed on that line drive by Upton to the shortstop was 110 miles an hour. Whoa. But I heard you and Jack talking a couple of days ago. I'm like Jack. I like the bat speed, and I'm trying to figure out what's the difference. We've always talked about bat speed.
Well, there's going to be a bunt hit against the shift, and so Morrison is on.
But lately, everybody's talking about hit speed.
Well, hit speed is the speed that the ball comes off the bat, but to me, the more intriguing number would be what is the bat speed?
No
like?
question.
Because then you can kind of quantify how it is from guy to guy to guy. Who's got better bat speed?
How quickly guys are getting that bat through the zone.
Work on that, will you, Rod?
I will get on that.
All right.
Well, if Jack can't get it done, I know I can get it done.
Give it a shot. You never know. Here's Brandon Guyer. That is the 5th hit of the ball game now for the Rays. Bunt single and a walk for Guyer. So they've had a couple of bunt hits now. Inside 1-0.
You don't want to go inside too aggressively against Guyer, because if you're a Pelfrey here, the last thing that you want to do is hit him. He does not get out of the way very well. He's already been hit 16 times this year, and he's had a stint on the disabled list.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Guyer, who played his college ball at Virginia with Ryan Zimmerman of the Nationals. They were on the same team there. That hotbed of baseball, the Virginia area, that has produced, well, the Uptons, Zimmerman, a bunch of guys.
Verlander.
Yeah, he's pretty good. When you look at what Pelfrey has done today, we talked about all the ground ball outs he's gotten. His pitch count right now is at 64 in the 6th inning.
This has been one of his more effective games pitched this year. He's looking for a ground ball right here off the bat of Guyer, and usually gets it.
Guyer has been on base twice. He came in just 1 for his last 14. Game's only run, scoring on an RBI double by Casali in the 5th. In the air toward right field, slicing away from Moya. He's on the run, makes a sprawling play. He's got to get up quickly and get it back in, and a double play.
Oh, what a play by Moya.
Stephen Moya tumbles in right field and doubles up Logan Morrison. What a play by Moya.
Check this out. You will not see a finer play. Look how far he had to run to get there. And then he rolled over. Then he finally got up and threw a clothesline back to Miguel Cabrera to complete the double play.
Great play. It stays a 1-0 game.
That's one of the best outfield plays you'll see this year.
Very much, and Steven Moya, who just made that sprawling play out in right field, will lead things off in the 7th inning in a 1-0 ball game. It'll be the bottom three: Moya, McCann, and Romine.
No.
Tigers 6.5 out right now, with Cleveland losing in Toronto.
Somebody must have told a joke down there. Skipper smiling down there. He and his pitching coach, Rich Doobie.
There's a strike call.
Did you notice that Moya had sunglasses on?
No, I did not.
Have you ever seen anybody wear sunglasses inside the dome?
Not that I can remember, no. Well, apparently they helped him make that play. That ball fouled back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes on Moya. Moya, who at times has struggled defensively up here at the major league level, has turned in a great play here, which might have saved a run there.
Oh, for sure saved a run. And maybe a couple runs.
Andriese came on to get the final out of the 6th. It's fouled away again. Check in with Trev right now.
Guys, you might have noticed the guy inside the clubhouse the other day with all the different sunglasses. Well, Moya was trying some different sunglasses on, and he showed me the ones that he chose to go with. And they cut down on the glare when you look up into this lights, the lights here at the top and into the ceiling. You can pick up the ball easier. He told me he might wear those and hope that it worked in the field. Apparently, it did pay off for him, guys.
All right, Trev, thanks. Well, there you go. That answers your question.
I've never seen it before.
Nope, me either. One and 2 on Moya.
And keep them glasses on.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If Andriese makes a mistake with one of those cut fastballs to Moya, and he can very easily get the Tigers on the board, and with the power that he has in his bat.
Andriese faced Upton with runners at 1st and 3rd in the 6th. Upton hit a screaming line drive right at the shortstop for final out. And that is chopped foul, so Moya giving him a battle. 1 run, 5 hits for the Rays. The Tigers, no runs, 3 hits. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is the 3rd time that Moya has fanned in this game. That'll be 11 strikeouts now for Rays pitching. 10 of those, of course, came from the starter, Chris Archer. McCann has a walk and a line out to the 2nd baseman. Strike 1. It's been a weird series after the first 2 games where the Tigers were getting a lot of hits, scoring a lot of runs. They had 27 hits in the first 2 games. Now the last 2 nights things have quieted considerably.
Yeah, closer ball games.
The 0-1 is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And going into that game yesterday, the Tigers had gone 3 straight games where they had scored 10 runs or more before yesterday. There's a skipper.
Here's the 1-1. Down the right field line, slicing though, and it'll go foul.
Andriese appears to be tough to pick up. Very few Tigers got really good swings at him the other day, and it's the same way here today. He's got some deception in his delivery. Not overpowering, but still tough to pick up.
1 ball, 2 strikes. One out, nobody on. We're in the 7th. Another foul back out of play. By the way, did you notice all the photos hanging on the manager's office wall here?
I did notice that a couple days ago.
It's pretty funny, actually. We talk about Brad Ausmus and his calm demeanor. Instead of just headshots of all the managers on the office wall, they put shots of the managers arguing with umpires. So every manager in the major leagues has a shot on the wall arguing with an umpire, including Brad, which you don't see that often.
And you know, it's probably some of their more embarrassing moments on the baseball field.
Oh, some of them. I mean, the Girardi photo is hilarious. He's just screaming and yelling. And the Brad photo is kind of out of character for Brad because he's screaming down an umpire. But it's funny the way that they have decided to put the photos of the managers.
And Brad knew exactly when and where was his ejection.
2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball in the air to right field, fairly deep but playable. Souza is there. 2 gone. Fans, Fox Sports Detroit's University Days rolls right along this summer with Central Michigan University at Comerica Park on July 15th. Buy a special ticket package to the Tigers-Royals game. Get a Tigers baseball cap in Central Michigan colors. To buy tickets or to get more information, visit tigers.com/special events.
Those are the Chippewas?
Yep, the Chippewas. Those hats are actually pretty cool. All the universities in Michigan, the major universities, are represented. 1 ball, no strikes on Romine. Batting here with 2 outs, nobody on. Sliced out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Heard Jim Harbaugh is going to throw out the first pitch this year. They want you to catch it.
That's cold, dude.
What'd you do it?
That's cold. No, I'd be busy that day. I couldn't do it. Here's the 1-1.
Is obedient. I bet you right down.
I'll catch that one. I'll catch D'Antonio's. Doesn't matter. They wouldn't let me on campus if I caught Harbaugh's first pitch.
They probably wouldn't, would they?
No. 2-1 the count on Romine.
You couldn't go to the Banks no more?
On the Banks, no. The Banks would be shut down for me. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Kinsler waiting on deck. Tigers down by a run. And it'll get back out of play. Romine starting today in center field in place of Cameron Maybin, who's getting the day off today. And I'm sure Brad didn't want to take him out of the lineup because Cam's been so good, but it's his day to rest. Romine versatile enough to play that position. Popped up foul, back out of play. Well, we mentioned this Rays bullpen is without a couple of guys that have closed for them, Boxberger and Colomé, both on the disabled list, which has left them hamstrung, especially late in games. And we saw that in the first game of the series. Here's a 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Andriese with a 1-2-3 inning. 12 strikeouts now for Rays pitching. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
half, in particular at the beginning, we had some issues with our starting pitchers, and then when they got on a roll, we had some issues with our relievers. And right now, I think you see us now pretty much close to all cylinders as far as the pitching is concerned. With the addition now that we got Fulmer back in here, Norris has helped out in that sense. Verlander has been pitching great. He had the one bad outing, but that was just, an aberration, really, one bad outing. You're going to have that from time to time. So I think now we have our pitching rolling the way we want it to be, in particular our bullpen. We've been scoring a lot of runs, and so I think we're on the right track.
And those are the thoughts of the Executive Vice President, Baseball Operations, and General Manager of the Tigers, Al Avila, on his team's first half performance. And I think Al, just like about anybody else watching this team play lately, Rod, expecting bigger things.
Absolutely. And he knows that this team was built to win at the beginning of the season, and how the Tigers play going into the All-Star break and how they come out of the All-Star break is really going to determine what they do at the trade deadline. I mean, their payroll is already up to $200 million, so there's not a lot of flexibility. But if they give Al a reason, I'm sure he'll go out and try to find whatever piece it is to help this team accomplish the goals that it set out at the beginning of the year.
Well, the first week coming out of the break last year certainly made the Tigers become sellers more than buyers. And it's bounced foul off the bat of Steven Souza Jr. as we go to the bottom of the seventh. Tigers, of course, have some big games coming up on this road trip. After this one is done, they've got 3 in Cleveland, 4 in Toronto.
Yeah, we showed you a Souza catch a little earlier today. It was this year, but Jordan Zimmerman will argue that the best catch that he ever made, that would be Souza Jr., would be when he threw his no-hitter before he left the Washington Nationals.
Swing and a miss. Somewhat reminiscent of the one we showed you earlier, a diving play by Souza. That one carried a little bit more, though, with it. A no-hitter. Here's the 0-2. High. There's Zim, who threw the no-hitter. Before he left the Nationals, he went 9 with no runs, hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts on September 28th of 2014. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outside now, 3-2.
And Tigers have got to get Jordan Zimmerman back on track. He was sensational in the month of May. And then he missed the start with that groin injury and really has had one good start since he missed about 12 days with that injury.
Chopper to the shortstop. Here comes Iglesias.
Well, we teased this play, so we may as well show it to you. This is when Jordan Zimmerman was wearing a Washington Nationals uniform, and the 2 catches. The one on the right is the one he made April 27th, and the one 2 years ago saved a no-hitter for Jordan Zimmerman. They look identical.
Here's Dickerson now. It's amazing to see a play like that without a no-hitter in the offing, but when that saves a no-hitter, those plays are extremely special. Dickerson, a fly out and a ground out, and he rolls it foul. We're in the bottom of the 7th in a 1-0 game. The Rays got a run in the bottom of the 5th on an RBI double by their number 9 hitter Casale. That's been it. Strike call.
Pelfrey's pitch count is still in outstanding shape. He's only thrown 74 total.
Tiger bullpen is quiet and has been all day long. He has scattered 5 hits. Now the 0-2. Fly ball, left field. Upton going back to the track, to the wall. And that ball is off the top of the wall. Dickerson is on his way to second. And he will pull in with a one-out double. And he almost hit an opposite field home run. On an 0-2 pitch.
No, Mike's got to be kicking himself for giving Dickerson such a good pitch to hit. That ball nearly went out of here. It's a nice approach by Dickerson, trying to hit the ball the other way against the sinker baller.
That'll bring up Nick Franklin. This is the 11th double of the year. Missed by a couple of feet from going out. Franklin is 1 for 2, a single and a line out. Swing and a miss. That is the 6th hit given up now by Pelfrey. For the most part this year, the Tigers have not given Pelfrey a lot of support. Many of his starts, they just have not scored many runs. That has been the case here today, although they gave him 7 runs of support his last time out. And that's why he was able to withstand giving up 12 hits and 4 runs. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike on Franklin. Franklin only 1 home run this year. A little bit of pop. He hit 12 homers a couple of years ago with Seattle. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
And Tigers may have to get someone up in that bullpen if he loses him.
It has been quiet all day down the left field line. Now there is a little bit of stirring going on. And he walked him, ball 4.
That's pretty close.
Put 2 men on now. You can follow Tigers baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Second walk allowed by Pelfrey.
And James McCann buying a little time now for the bullpen to get up and start to get loose.
Brooks Rondon picks up a baseball and he'll start to loosen. So here's the guy that's responsible for the game's only run. That would be Kurt Casale. That's why his pitch count's been in great shape. I mean, all day long he's been really no more than 12, 13 in any inning. It's Doobie out there to buy some more time now. Clock has reached 0, so Doobie will turn around and head back to the bench. Rays lead 1-0. A double by Dickerson, a walk to Franklin. Last
time Casale was up, he got a first pitch fastball that was right down the middle and sliced it down in the right field corner. And to drive in Franklin, who was on first base.
His 18th RBI. And ball one inside to Casale. Remember last year was July, right before the deadline, where Casale hit multi-home run games in 2 straight days.
Yep, he had 2 against David Price.
Right. Here's how they play defensively. Playing to pull on Casale. Two and 0. Top of the order, waiting on deck, Logan Forsythe. Now Casale will step out as Pelfrey takes too much time. Casale came in just 3 for his previous 31. But all it took was 1 swing back in the 5th to put his team in the lead. Here's the 2-0. 3-0 now on Casale. So Pelfrey having difficulty with the bottom of the lineup, but doubled by Dickerson, a walk to Franklin.
In this particular situation with runners in scoring position, you have to assume that Casale could swing if you wanted to. So if you're Pelfrey, you got to throw a strike, but make sure you throw a quality strike here.
And he lost to ball 4. That will load the bases with Rays. 3 walks now, and Brad appears like he's going to make a change. Here he comes.
Yeah, Brad needs a strikeout now, and Rondon is better suited to get that strikeout than Pelfrey.
So Bruce Rondon will be coming into this ball game, and it's going to be a wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back to St. Pete.
Let's take a look at the big boys, big plays of the game. The Tigers infielders, when Pelfrey's on the mound, man, they make plays. Castellanos made a nice play. Kinsler made a really nice play. Iglesias, a sparkling play at the shortstop position, but none better than the play that Steven Moya made down in the right field corner. He turned this into an inning-ending double play.
So here is Bruce Rondon with the bases loaded and 1 out.
And Tigers need a strikeout here, and Rondon can get that strikeout. He's got a fastball that can reach triple digits. And he's also displayed an outstanding slider since coming back up from the minor leagues.
First one at 97, missing high and outside, 1-0.
You know Forsythe is dialed in for that heater right here. So if you're Rondon, you have any confidence whatsoever, because you do need the strikeout. May not be a bad time to throw the slider. I doubt very seriously if he would be able to lay off of it if you make it look like it's a strike. There you go. Like that.
Forsythe is 1 for 3 in this ball game. Had an infield hit back in the third.
And now you put that thought in Forsythe's mind, and now all of a sudden you can come back with a good fastball and you can throw it right by him.
Here's the 1-1. Fouled back out of play. Another slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
If you're Forsythe, you got to be kicking yourself after getting that slider right there at 85. That basically split the plate. You fouled it straight back. And since coming to the big leagues this year, Rondon has only inherited 2 base runners, 1 of which is scored. He's got 3 of Pelfrey's base runners out there right now.
Fought that one off at 99. Forsythe, a 9-game hitting streak, trying to get his team some insurance here in the bottom of the 7th. They're loaded up and only 1 out, trying to strand those runners for Pelfrey. Low and away, 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Rondon carves up Forsythe, and there are 2 gone.
Outstanding breaking pitch here thrown by Rondon, buried at the bottom of the strike zone. Forsythe could not hold up on it. You've got to respect the 100-mile-per-hour fastball, so you have to cheat for that pitch, especially with 2 strikes. And so you're prone to swinging at breaking balls out of the zone.
Here is Brad Miller. Miller is 0 for 3. Rondon needs 1 more out here to get out of his 7th. Miller pops it up. Should do it in the air to left field. Upton calling for it, and that is that. So Rondon gets the final 2 outs, and they will leave him loaded. Nice job by Pelfrey today. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Top half of the 8th inning, Ian Kinsler is leading off, and here's a magic moonshot. It is presented by Magic Window, and Ian Kinsler, he connected for his 15th home run yesterday against the hotshot rookie Blake Snell. Ian Kinsler sitting on 199 home runs in his career.
Look at the pace for this season. He's on pace to hit 30 of them this year.
And score 130 runs?
Well, those are all-star worthy numbers based on the pace that he's established. Andres, meanwhile, going back to the hill. Top of the order, Kinsler, Iglesias, and Cabrera in a 1-0 ball game. Andres has retired all 4 batters that he has faced, 2 of them on strikeouts. And a total of 12 strikeouts today for Rays pitching. 10 of those, though, by the starter, Chris Archer. Whistle down the line. To left field it goes, up against the wall. Kinsler is on his way to second, and he is in with a leadoff double. Tag run is in scoring position.
Many guys have not been able to barrel up the fastball that Andres has been featuring today, but Ian Kinsler turned on that bad boy. I mean, he buggy whipped that down in the left field corner, and he really had to get on his horse to get a double. And he put his glasses on, too. Put his goggles on. It's the holiday. He must be going swimming.
Here is Iglesias now with a tying run at second base. That is only the 4th Tigers hit of the afternoon.
You wonder if Iglesias will just bunt here. He knows he's got a job to do, and that's get Kinsler to third base. The easiest way to do it is just bunt.
He'll take ball 1 inside.
Andres is trying to throw something inside to cause him to turn on the ball, to hit the ball to the shortstop, or to hit the ball to third base, which would not allow Ian Kinsler to get to third.
Xavier Cedeno warming up in the Rays bullpen.
We saw him yesterday, man. He's got 2 pitches, man. He's got a cutter and a breaking ball, and he's tough. Tigers did not get good swings against Cedeno yesterday.
Iglesias has 2 hits, both singles.
The Rays were doing good in the 6th.
1-1 on Jose. Alex Wilson, Shane Green, the duo of right-handers warming up.
We haven't seen Alex Wilson the entire series.
They were in the Western Conference. They only played.
I guess that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
I was so
haven't
mad.
needed him.
I could never see it. I got to go this year. First game of the year this year. Is it?
1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't think my buddy will let me go to that one. Oh, no, that was about Gomez.
First hit that Andres has given up since coming on in the 6th inning. It'll get fouled back in the seats. Kind of surprised here they haven't had Iglesias bunt the runner up.
You know, even if they don't give him the bunt side, Mario, Iglesias is savvy enough and smart enough to know the importance of that run at second base, and he probably should have taken the liberty himself of just bunting. You know, even though the manager doesn't give you the bunt sign, you can still use the bunt to get the guy over to third. We told you earlier that Iglesias is tough to strike out, however. More than likely, he will put the ball in place somewhere.
Now the 1-2. It's in the air to right field. Souza has it, runner tagging, and he's going to hold up. Kinsler tagged up, started to run to force the throw, and he holds up.
Had Ian continued to run, he would have been safe because the throw was offline, but you cannot anticipate that if you're Dave Clark, the third base coach, who basically told Ian, don't come over here. Souza Jr. has a really good arm in right. He played it perfectly, too, did Souza Jr. He got behind it, which means he had all of his momentum carrying him back to where he was going to throw that ball.
Well, here is Cabrera now with the man at second and 1 out.
It's a smart play here by And Kevin Cash, their manager, to put Miggy on. It's pretty much pick your poison.
Yeah, it is. And I wonder if they bring in Cedeno to face Martinez, turn him around.
Turn him around?
Although, does it really matter? I mean, less power from the right side, I suppose.
This is one of those situations right here where if you're Kevin Cash, you go into the series and you basically tell yourself, Miguel Cabrera is not going to beat us. So if you get yourself in a situation where you just have to walk him and go after Victor, even though Victor's very dangerous, that's exactly what you're going to do. And you're also hoping that Victor rolls over on one and he gives you a double play.
So there is the intentional walk, and here comes Kevin Cash. He'll bring in the lefty and turn around the righty, or turn around Martinez to the right side. And we'll step aside. Tigers have 2 on, 1 out in the 8th. We'll be back. Game summary. Mike Pelfrey goes 6 1/3 in this one, allows 6 hits and 1 earned run. Archer struck out 10 in 5 2/3, and right now the only run scoring on the RBI double by Kurt Casale in the 5th. However, the Tigers have runners at 1st and 2nd now.
And Victor Martinez is stepping into the batter's box, and you see the numbers that Victor has at this particular field, batting .366 in a minimum of 40 games here at the Trop. Cedeno has only 2 pitches. He's got a cut fastball and he's got a curveball. Victor saw him yesterday and he struck Victor out.
So Xavier Cedeno comes in. Cedeno facing 4 batters yesterday, striking 2 of them out. And the first one is hit for a strike, 0-1.
There's that cut fastball. He starts that ball off the plate outside. If you're a hitter, you see the ball off the plate, and all of a sudden, because of the way that he grips it and throws it, it catches the outside corner. So you can't give up on that ball if you're Victor, if you think it's going to be away from you. He'll also throw that same pitch in on your hands.
Bouncing ball toward first base. Morrison goes to second. 1 there. Relay. Not in time. Kinsler coming home, and he scores. He scores on the play to tie it up. Oh, what a heads-up play by Ian. It's a 1-1 ball game.
You knew Ian Kinsler, once he saw the pitcher over there to cover, because of the way that Cedeno took the throw, he wasn't going to stop. And even with a perfect throw, they don't get Ian Kinsler. Look at Kinsler right here. He's reading the plate. He just kept going. What a gamer. What a gamer.
An unbelievable heads-up play by Kinsler to tie the ball game. Martinez able to beat the relay. And here is Castellanos now. 1-1 ball game in the 8th. And Nick swings and misses 0-1.
Victor Martinez gets an RBI for that.
I know it. On a ground ball with the guy at second.
Courtesy of Ian Kinsler.
Here's the 0-1. Right fold into left field, base hit. Victor will go to second and stop there.
And we told you this bullpen of the Tampa Bay Rays really struggles. One more look at the Ian Kinsler base running play. What you're taught to do is run with your head on a swivel. He sees the play. Now he continues to look behind him. He continues to look. And then once he saw that they were going to try to turn the double play, he never hesitated. Dave Clark, the third base coach, did not come into the equation there. That was all Ian Kinsler.
Now the Tigers have a chance to go ahead. Cameron Maybin has come on a pinch run for Victor Martinez.
Yeah, you never really ever want to take Victor Martinez out of a game, especially a close game that has a chance of going extra innings. But you still have Miguel Cabrera, and you still have a bunch of guys in the lineup that can score and can hit. Your main concern right now is scoring the run and being able to score on a base hit. And sometimes Victor just can't score on a base hit.
Upton hit a bullet his last time up right at the shortstop.
He barreled one up and hit an absolute missile to the shortstop. About took his glove off. Tigers getting better swings today against Cedeno. They saw him yesterday for the first time, and they really couldn't pick up that cut fastball or that breaking ball that he likes to throw inside on him. But today, they've gotten some good swings against him.
Upton is 1 for 3. Had a single in the 4th. Was caught trying to steal, though. 2 out, 2 on. Upton hammers one toward the gap in left center field, and it is gonna get by Geyer all the way to the wall. 2-run score. Upton is in with a double, and the Tigers have the lead.
Where are you going, Jay? That's a triple, boy.
Geyer almost made a tremendous diving play, but Upton has a 2-run knock.
Last 2 times, J-Up has absolutely barreled up the baseball. That's that little cut fastball away that Justin did not give up on, and he whistled it into the left center field gap. And almost another spectacular play by Geyer, the center fielder. I guess Victor would have scored on that one.
Well, I hope so. That thing went to the 404 marker with 2 outs. Boy, what a clutch knock there by Justin Upton.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Yes,
putting
sir.
them on, putting them goggles on. And he's eating.
3-1, the Tigers have the lead. Boy, a key play by Kinsler and a big hit by Upton.
It's almost like the play by Ian Kinsler just energized the entire dugout and team with a play like that.
Upton gets RBIs 35 and 36. Cedeno not the answer. That's going to be it for Cedeno, so they'll go back to the bullpen. And another pitching change. Tigers come alive late in this one. They lead by 2. Ian Kinsler scored the tying run, and the Tigers now have added 2 more to take the lead 3-1. Justin Upton with a huge double to the gap in left center. These are ugly.
Oh, my goodness.
Ray's bullpen in the last 15 games has an ERA of about 10.5.
Look at the league, hit nearly 400 against that pen.
Danny Farquhar is on now. And he will face Mike Avila's pinch hitting for Steven Moya. Avila set 218. Might as well get Upton in. There's a foul back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes on Avilas.
Avilas was going to enter the game anyway, probably as a defensive replacement for Moya, even though Moya made that spectacular play out in right field. Brad takes Moya out of games every single night late in games if the Tigers have a win.
Here's the 0-2. So Shane Green will be coming on in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Romine will probably go to third base. Maben, of course, will go to center field.
And that hit him. It's the second hit batter tonight for the Tigers. 2 on now with 2 outs.
Number 34, James McCann.
And 2-seam fastball thrown by Farquhar that runs in and hits Avilas on the right arm.
Here is the 8th man to bat in the inning. James McCann will step in. 3-1. The Tigers have the lead with a 3 spot here in the 8th. And McCann, a defensive swing, fouls it back.
I said Maben would enter the game and go in center field, but if they leave Maben in center field, that means they lose the DH here. So Maben might just stay on the bench, and they might just leave Romine out there.
Yeah, good point.
Castellanos at third.
No balls, 1 strike. McCann in the ball game is 0 for 2 with a walk. Swing and a miss.
You know, we talked about it the other day. The Tigers still have some work to do here today if they're going to complete the sweep, man. But that come from behind victory on Thursday just has seemed to propel these guys into believing that they can beat anybody. And they're going to need that kind of confidence when they roll into Cleveland tomorrow.
That was a definite loss 3 nights ago. Down 5 in the 9th inning, but they came back. McCann strikes out to end the inning, so the Tigers settled for 3. A huge inning. Kinsler with a heads-up play. And then, of course, Justin Upton. A gap shot. Tigers scored 3 and have the lead.
Here is the 1-800-CALL-SAM call of the game, and that's exactly what Brad did. He called for Big Bruce Rondon. Rondon came in, got a strikeout, and then got a pop-up as the bases were loaded. Mike Pelfrey left the bases loaded, and Rondon got it done.
In the meantime, the Tigers have grabbed the lead 3-1 now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Evan Longoria leads it off and looks at strike one.
Shane Green has done real nice work since he's been pitching in the 8th inning. Good fastball, firm, 94, 95. Good cutters, good breaking balls, and a lot of mound presence.
Ball hit a mile high up in the air in a shallow left.
Oh, he just missed that.
Upton, one gone.
Number 7, first baseman Logan Morrison.
Mike Avila stays in the game, playing in right field.
And as we expected, Maben not in the game. Romine stays in center field, which means Castellanos will finish this one out today.
Romine got the start for Maben in center today. Maben came on a pinch run.
Romine got the show spikes on the day. It's clean, isn't he?
Show spike.
You see him? It's Sunday, man. He got his Sunday best on today.
Dude, he's getting a start in center field,
yeah,
man. Everybody can see him.
Style.
It's a ball high. Let's look at these show cleats here. Nice.
Look at it. Little orange toe.
Logan Morrison, the batter. Tiger bullpen trying to finish this one off here. There's a swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Outstanding slider there thrown by Green. He looks a whole lot more confident to me pitching out of that bullpen than he did as a starter for whatever reason. Throwing harder. Just kind of looks the part.
It looks like he has found a niche and he's comfortable in it, and he's just going to go out and throw. Not worry about anything else. He's had blister problems this year. Nice drilled foul down the left field line.
Fastball right there at 95, four-seam variety. You can get Morrison a couple different ways now. He swings a lot, and you can throw the fastball up to get strike three, or you can simply bury the breaking ball down, and he might have a difficult time of laying off that one as well.
Justin Wilson, the lefty, tuning up. Ooh, man, was that nasty.
That's that breaking ball. He went down underneath the bat of Morrison to get strike three.
Two gone. Hey, David Ortiz, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and all of baseball superstars come together for their primetime event that'll light up the summer. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game from San Diego, July the 12th. It's only on Fox. Will Ian Kinsler be there?
He should be.
He deserves it.
The players will vote him in.
Yeah, I would think so.
He'll get the players' vote. There's no way the players are not going to vote Ian Kinsler into the All-Star Game this year.
Now Brandon Guyer.
Miggy will get a players' vote as well.
Guyer a single, a walk, and a flyout. What about Castellanos? Does he have a shot?
He's got a shot, man. He's got an outside shot, but you brought it up, man. There's just so many really good third basemen right now, guys that are having superior years. It starts with Machado. Then you've got Donaldson, the reigning MVP award winner last year. Longoria here. He's going to get some votes. Adrian Beltre as well. It's a tough position, third base. It's a big boy position.
Guyer behind 0-2. See ya. Man, Shane Green.
Look out, Shane.
Oh, a 1-2-3-8 with a couple of strikeouts.
I see you.
Buzzing right through the Rays today. We go to the ninth. Tigers have a chance to gain a game both on KC and the Cleveland Indians. Indians getting pounded today. Romine leading off here in the 9th inning. Tigers got to finish this one off, though. They lead 3-1. The Rays bullpen in this series, 15 earned runs in 12 1/3 innings.
Ooh.
That's an ERA of about 11. There's a soft line drive to center, base hit. Give Romine his first hit of the day. Leadoff man on here in the 9th.
Second baseman, Ian Kinsler.
That'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Ian had a double and turned out to orchestrate one of the biggest plays in this game. A very heads-up play, scoring on a ground ball double play from second.
We talk about the fact that he's on pace to score 120, 130 runs, but he's also on pace to drive in 100 runs this year. It's Kinsler.
There's a high drive to left, deep, way back, to the track, to the wall, and there is home run number 200 for Ian Kinsler. A 2-run shot for the Tigers here in the 9th. And 2 more RBIs.
That's a big one. He is single-handedly getting it done here tonight for his club.
What a day for Kinsler. He reaches the 200 plateau in home runs. Strike called on Iglesias.
That's a happy dugout. They are happy for Ian Kinsler. Look at those smiles down there, man.
Bender drops in for a strike, 0-2.
I told you he's my Tiger, right?
Yeah, just now. But that's okay. He's a lot of people's Tiger. Well, we talk about him making the All-Star team, and for sure he's going to have to. But what a great accomplishment now. 200 home runs for Kinsler. Iglesias shoots that one back to the mound. 1 gone.
Little cut fastball that Ian Kinsler got underneath and hit it just right. He knew it was gone as soon as he hit it. The only thing that he was wondering was whether it was going to hit another catwalk or not, which it did. Upton gave him a high five today, Martin. Yesterday he hit 199. Upton would not give him a high five.
Well, the race is over to 200 now.
Yeah, it's over now.
You got to at least give him some love. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the 2-0 to Miggy, and it's inside. We check in now with Trev.
Guys, Ian told me the other day that he and Upton are 2 of the most competitive guys against one another head-to-head inside that clubhouse, and he said they do have a secret wager on that race to 200, but would not tell me what was on the line. I am now on a mission to find out what that secret wager is all about and what Ian gets out of this for being the first to 200. Big number.
Well, if Ian rolls up to the ballpark in a new Mercedes tomorrow, we'll know.
You know.
Number 200 for Kinsler. And he's starting to reach some lofty levels now. Only the 40th player in Major League history is Kinsler to hit 200 homers, 1,000 or more career runs scored, and 1,600 or more career hits, and 200 stolen bases. So he's getting it done in every category. Maben getting his first at bat, came on as a pinch runner in the 8th. One ball, one strike on Maben. There's a Bender that drops in for a strike. Farquhar touched up for the 2-run homer to give the Tigers a 5-1 lead. Maben down on strikes. Well, it's a pretty lofty list of folks here. 200 homers, 200 steals, and 1,000 runs scored.
And the one thing that all 8 of those guys have in common, and they were all 5-tool players. All 8 of those guys could do everything on a baseball field. Everything.
There's Castellanos. High fly ball to right field. This one hit pretty good. Souza going to the wall, leaps and makes the catch. That'll end the inning, but this game belongs to Ian Kinsler. He's added to his day with a 2-run shot, 200th career home run. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Well, Florida's been kind to the Tigers. They are 3 outs away from a 4-game sweep. And Kyle Ryan will come on and try and get it done.
He's been outstanding in his last 5 outings. A 2-0 record, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, and 9 strikeouts for Kyle Ryan since coming back up from the minor leagues.
9th inning, the bottom half is underway with Souza fouling it off. He'll be followed by Dickerson and then Franklin. Tigers trying to get their first sweep in Tampa since 2009. That was a 3-gamer. This would be a 4-gamer. 0-2 the count on Steven Souza Jr. One ball, 2 strikes. Rays in danger of dropping to 2-16 in their last 18 games.
They've been scuffling.
They have been swept in a 4-game series earlier this year. That was by Baltimore on the road. High fly ball center field. That'll chase Romine back. He's under it. 1 gone. We check in now with Trevor Thompson. Preview of today's Tigers Live.
Well, guys, yesterday it was 199. Today it was 200 for Ian Kinsler. I'll get his post-game thoughts on reaching that milestone. We'll also talk to Mike Pelfrey, who threw a great game here today, although he did not get the win. And although he stayed in the game, I'm going to want to talk with Nick Castellanos about getting hit in the hand. We'll get an update on how he's feeling after the game as well. It's all coming up on Tigers Live right after this one's over. Back up to you guys for now.
All right, Trev, thanks. 2 more outs to go. Corey Dickerson will stand in. Double ground out fly out for Dickerson. Fouled back 0-1. Rays had a 1-0 lead and a chance to add to that lead. They had the bases loaded, 1 out of the 7th, but couldn't score. Rondon came in and struck out Forsythe and got Miller to fly out. And that turned out to be a very big inning because Tigers still down by 1 were able to come back.
Pelfrey did a real nice job here today, as Craig alluded to that. As Trevor alluded to that fact. But those 2 outs that Rondon got were huge.
Really kind of changed the momentum of the game. The Tigers were in danger of falling behind by a couple of runs.
And he did exactly what Brad was hoping that he would do. With the bases loaded, Brad knew that he needed a strikeout, and Rondon's the one guy down there that can get him a strikeout.
3 balls, 1 strike. Kyle Ryan following Shane Green and Bruce Rondon out of the bullpen in relief of the starter Pelfrey. There is ball 4 high. It's a 1-out base runner. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. The big series begins tomorrow night in Cleveland. Salazar and Daniel Norris.
And Salazar has outstanding stuff, so it's going to be imperative that Daniel Norris bring his A game tomorrow night in Cleveland.
Here's Nick Franklin. Ball 1 to Franklin. Saw Frankie Rodriguez warming up just in case he is needed. Ryan got the first out, a fly ball, and then walked Dickerson. Here's the 1-0. Pop up first base side, foul ground, going to fall in foul territory. One ball, 1 strike. That'll get fouled down the third base line. 1-2 now on Nick Franklin. Casale on deck. Tigers a chance to go 6 over the 500 mark. They had not been over 5 over the 500 mark since May 30th of last year. And they put on a surge. They won the last 2 on that homestand. They didn't let that 3-game sweep at the hands of the Indians get them down.
Yeah, they could have very easily mailed in the last 2 there against Miami.
Swing and a miss. Franklin is out.
Now it appears they're going to head into Cleveland playing their best baseball of the year, which they desperately needed to be, because Cleveland has beaten them 9 straight times this season.
Last chance for the Rays is Kirk Casale. Kyle Ryan trying to finish this one out himself. Casale doubled in their only run. He went around, strike 1.
Come on, Kurt.
Oh, 2 down to their final strike.
He hadn't thrown Casale a strike yet. No.
And Casale finds himself down 0-2. Tigers fans trying to make some noise now.
The boys played well for the Tigers down here in Florida.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Met so many people in the hotel over these past 4 days that are Michiganders that have moved down to Florida for work or other reasons.
Yeah.
And they love to come out and watch their Tigers play. And they got a good show. 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kurt Casale. Now Ryan ready with the 2-2. Fouled away. Tigers had 5 runs on 8 hits, and the Rays 1 run, 6 hits on a day in which starter Chris Archer struck out 11 into the 6th inning, but they got to the bullpen. Runner going, and it swung on and missed. He struck him out, and that is a 4-game sweep. The Tigers get it done today, albeit late. The first 4-game road sweep since 2013 in Cleveland. And their first ever 4-game sweep at Tropicana Field. This was just exactly right what the Tigers needed.
You're absolutely right, Mario, to come here and play against this Tampa Bay Rays team, a team that was struggling. You knew you had to win the series. You weren't expecting a sweep, but after you won the first 3, why not go for the sweep? And they were able to complete it.
5-1 your final score. Tigers sweep away the Rays, and we'll be back.